All right, doing a nursing video. Okay, here we go. Hey everybody, I'm NOWSKI. Thanks for watching this video. This is going to be another nursing video, and in this one I am going to basically kind of give you an update about where I am in my nursing career. I've been a nurse for 3 years now. I've been in the ICU for those 3 years, and I just got a new position as a rapid response nurse, so I'm just going to tell you about that. So yeah, I just wanted to, well, it was long overdue where I make a video and I kind of talk about where I am in nursing right now. I polled people on Instagram, on my Instagram at NOWSKI, in my Instagram stories. I'm going to do that from time to time now, where I asked, do you want the topic of my video to be this or this? Choose A or B. And people decided that they wanted me to talk about being in the ICU for 3 years and now me transitioning into my new position as a rapid response nurse. So that's what I'm going to talk about. Feel free to subscribe at NOWSKI on Instagram. I'll do like some mini vlogs and kind of keep you updated with little stuff on there. So if you're on Instagram, check it out. Anyways, getting right to it. So yes, I have been a nurse for 3 years now, and it feels like it went by crazy fast. I came in right from grad school, went right into the ICU. I've been in a cardiac ICU for all 3 years. It has been an awesome experience. I have learned a lot, and I've gotten to the point at my hospital, it seems like when you hit the 3-year mark, a lot of other positions open up to you. It always says in the requirement, at least 3 years of nursing experience, or maybe it'll say ICU experience or something like that. But if you watch some of my older videos, I kind of talk about being a new nurse, jumping in the ICU, some of the pros and cons of working in the ICU. I have loved it. I mean, it took like 6 months, from when I first started, maybe a little more than 6 months. I forget what I said in my video, but it took me a while to actually come to like the ICU. It's pretty scary going in as a new grad, just becoming a nurse, a new nurse after graduating is pretty scary. Jumping into the ICU where you have patients crashing pretty often, it's pretty scary, but I had some great preceptors. I had some other people that came in after me or who came in before me, and it seems like in the ICU it seemed like a good percentage of people, they'll start it and then they realize they don't like the critical care aspect, and then they leave, or they go find something else, whether it be something on the floor. We call it, here in America, and I think everywhere in America, we call it floor nursing or ICU nursing. Basically, if you're not in the ICU, we call it the floor. So a lot of people, they would start in the ICU, maybe they realize they don't like the critical care aspect. It's just a little too crazy, makes them a little too stressed, and they would move out to the floor. I was at that point for a while. Right when I first started, I kept thinking, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to leave. I'm going to just go do something a little less critical, because I kept feeling stressed all the time. But it was weird. I got over that hump. It must have been 6 to 9 months after being in the ICU. I got over it. All of a sudden I was comfortable walking into any situation. A patient could come rolling in on a stretcher with a pressure of 60 over 40, or they're breathing 40 times a minute, and you just kind of know what to do, which is really cool. And that's why I really ended up liking ICU nursing, because you end up learning how to take care of the sickest of patients. So it's been really cool. I've been in an ICU that our main focus is cardiac, but we get, we're all stroke certified. We get a lot of med-surg ICU. We can get some traumas. We even got OB, intensive care OB patients. Basically, they're pregnant, but they also have some critical condition, maybe extreme hypertension or something going on that leads them into the ICU. So we had certain nurses who would take care of those OB patients. But being in a cardiac ICU, we got to learn a lot of the specific cardiac stuff. So all the fresh heart attacks would come to us, cardiac arrests would come to us. And we learned, we got to take some special classes learning about certain equipment like the Impella heart pump. Basically, if you're in cardiogenic shock, could happen like after a heart attack and your blood pressure is just tanking, your heart is not functioning as it should. They can put in this pump where it goes into your groin and goes all the way up into your heart, and basically does the work of your left ventricle. It'll pump the blood for you. So that's something that we only do in our unit, which was cool about the cardiac ICU. I really like learning about the EKGs and all the different arrhythmias. I get a bit of an adrenaline rush going into the codes. Our ICU, I believe, has the most codes out of all the ICUs. But anyways, it's been a great experience. I highly recommend, if you have the option as a new grad to apply to an ICU, don't be afraid to do it. If there's any thought that you are interested in critical care, go ahead and apply. Go through the interview, ask the manager, the interviewer, or the panel of people who will interview you, ask them about it. What's it like in the ICU? Watch some of my videos where I talk about it. It's pretty cool. It's scary at first, but if you have good preceptors, they get you through it. And I think it's pretty cool. If you're around hospitals that don't hire new grads to ICUs, go get some experience on the floor. That's not to say that floor nursing is any less stressful. You get more patients on the floor. They talk a lot more, and you see a lot more interactions with family members, it feels like. So that's a lot to juggle in and of itself. In the ICUs, a lot of the patients are unconscious, or they're intubated, meaning they're on a ventilator, or they're sedated, or they're just so sick that they can't have a ton of they don't talk a lot. And family member and visitors are a little bit more restricted in those areas. Just something to think about. But both floor and ICU nursing has stressful and hard parts about it. But anyways, I do recommend ICU nursing. So being in the ICU for 3 years let me apply, and this is as of the new year, for a new position as rapid response nurse.